Happy birthday. It's for you. Bless you. Happy birthday. It's for you. Sexy you. Happy birthday. All of our number 5 crew. Happy birthday. Today is for you. And only you. What it do? It's for you. You guys, listen up. I need you to recognize before we get into it. You guys need to know that you are the master key to this whole divine plan on this beautiful said divine planet Earth. The higher realms want you guys to not be debated. The higher realms do not want you to be debated. The higher realms want you to stay elated, okay? In every way. You guys are the most key to this whole divine plan on this beautiful, said divine planet Earth. The higher realms say you must know your worth since birth. You hear me? Yeah, and that word, the higher realms say it could be no other word than planet. And it's simply so you guys shall know that you are planned. The last 2 letters in that word planet is simply ET. It is so you guys can know in its entirety that you are here until the end of your timeline. Or for some, till the end of Earth timeline. Because a lot of you guys don't recognize you do have a soul's mission. And sometimes the soul's mission, is you can't complete one soul mission sometimes in one lifetime. So that's why you have to do different suits in different lifetimes, because your soul has a mission, So the higher realms want you guys to know without a doubt that you guys have been living the ET life all your life. A lot of you guys have been living the ET life all your life. I love you guys for that. Yeah, because a lot of you guys really stopped this situation where it was like a domestic violence thing. And you guys saw it didn't make no sense and it hurt you so, to see this person, go like they go. But nevertheless, somehow you guys you showed them something, and you stopped it. You guys stopped this gentleman from, and I'm seeing you guys at the age 18 or 17, or some of you guys may have been 16, but you were mature body for your age or something like that. Or you were somewhere you weren't supposed to be for your age at the time. And dealing with those grown things, the grown situations. You guys were able to execute that low vibe energy and transmute it into high vibe energy. Because I see the man now. I see him very angry. And you guys saw that girl didn't have a chance. So some of you guys did the think quick dance. You know what I mean? Some of you guys really did, execute that low vibe energy and transmute it into high vibe energy. A lot of you guys still shocked today that that person, ended up A-okay. From simply whatever you guys had to say at that time. Great job, great job. You guys are also being commended for this. So be aware that the higher realm, this is something the higher realms don't miss when you guys are doing, your actual work and you're aligned with your purpose. A lot of you guys, we need to recognize that you are on a soul's mission. Life is your soul's mission. It's not a competition. You got those people, in different dimensional levels, they're wishing that it was a competition. You may bump heads with that dressed up garbage can man. run around all the time, trying to look like he or let me reframe that. You may tap into or see this dressed up garbage can woman or man running around trying to do everything that he or she can, to hurt somebody. You know what I'm saying? And so a lot of you guys may run into them, and they really look good, shoes good, they look good on maybe paper, I don't know, they look good on the outside, but guess what? No inside work ever. They always up to no good. Okay, so you guys are going to run into that person in every way that's in some type of level of competition, wishing that they were in a competition. You're not even aware of what's going on there. Right? It's funny as heck. And look, that was confirmation, whatever that light was. So the bottom line is, you guys will run into also that one with that $500 hat on that 50-cent head. You know what I mean? That one always talking about who's in whose bed. That one. You're going to run into that one as well. Yeah. And sometimes that one you dread running into. But these are people in different dimensional levels of competition with you. Okay? And a lot of you guys need to be aware of this last one. This one has all the degrees more than a thermometer. But they're always asking you, hey, number 5, what shall I do? Do you know what I should do? Which way should I go, Georgia? That part. Yeah. So, and a lot of you guys take it to heart. So you tell them, just stay true to self. That's all you can tell them. And the reason the higher realms is telling you guys this is simply so you guys can be aware, because the higher realms want you to be aware, of these different, individuals, because the higher realms have placed something so beautiful, and delectable, inside of you, that's what I'm hearing. And some beautiful, so precious, so priceless inside of you. It is called your intuition. That when the higher realms place that inside of you, that begets your self-wealth, okay? Now the higher realm said, if you trust your intuition, Rodney P, you shall begin to see without sight. A lot of people still run around scratching their head trying to figure out how the blind man and woman can get around this world day or night and still get it right without a argue, fuss, or fight. Well, the higher realms said the higher realms want you to be aware, because the higher realms did not stop there. And it's so funny because when you go to these places, I don't care if it's a college or somewhere you have to pay tuition, they'll make you think you don't have any tuition when you have that intuition. They would say, well, do you have your tuition? And you're like, how about I get my body out of this chair, because it was intuition that brought me there, right? Man. However, the bottom line is, you guys, the higher realms want you to know that the higher realms did not stop there. The higher realms keeps your intuition spiritually tethered to this beautiful thing called your GPS, which is the guides, or simply God pointing you to your next level of step of origin. And I tell everybody on this channel, we try to keep the God word simple, so everyone can relate. Because we cannot forget that some people, this message, of God does not equate. That's why we try to keep it simple, on this channel, because for one, this is not a religious channel, I am spirit, you all, and we are born of a mighty, powerful spirit. The spirit has no sex, no age, or no color. You know, ain't no big eyes and little U's in the spirit world. There are no big eyes and little U's on this channel either. All right. So, and I don't want to be ever so spiritually great that I can't be in the earthly good, because I have to be some good here. You know, so yeah, that's what I'm talking about, you guys. So a lot of times people don't realize, you know, you can't offend people with the things that you say, okay, in a big way. You know, we used to have a thing in the street that we used to always say, watch what you say, you know what I'm saying? And that was a real thing. Watch what you say, you know, because you know, we were a different type of, you know, breed. We really did mind, you know, what we say to people and what we do and how we operate and how we maintain families and how we, you know, do certain things. So we came from a level of, in my time, you know, and some of you guys must be relating to this because you're old school. I'm hearing some of you guys are old school, or some of you guys are just old souls. You believe in really strict, you know, loyalty, respect, you know, stuff like that. You know, that part. So, and then some of you guys really do take it to heart. So I'm glad. And man, I love, you know, the spiritually matured on this channel. I love you guys because you have to be spiritually matured in order to enjoy, you know, the fruits of the soul. You know, you have to be spiritually matured. Yeah, you do. It's a beautiful thing. And again, no big eyes and little U's on this channel. So a lot of you guys need to know that you're spiritually tethered to that spiritual God energy. And yeah, and the higher realm said you're spiritually tethered, you know, to the gods, or the gods, or simply God pointing you to your next level of step of origin. Now the acronym for STEP is simply STEP, which is a solution to every problem. Okay? The STEP is a solution to every problem. So that's why you guys you have to take one, you know, step at a time in this lifetime. And that's why you have to do that even walking. Even walking, you align your chakras when you walk, you know, one step at a time. So that is, you know, a spiritual thing that needs to come to mind. I'm just going to leave it like that. However, yeah, so the higher realms want you guys to know that. The higher realm said, you know, it was an issue, okay? Even though you guys were born like a spiritual 9mm 6-inch burrow with some hollow points fully loaded, ready to shoot. A lot of you guys need to know what a problem is, because a lot of people, even though you were born with the STEP, the solution to every problem, you didn't know what a problem was. You know, the higher realms put an alert out, let them people know, let the people know, because they out here pointing one finger out when it's like 3 fingers pointing back. Let them know right away they are under some severe attack. You know, they need to know the fact. A problem is something that you create. Situations are simply things that happen. You know, you hear them people, the way you can tell is like a problem, a lot of time always have a name attached to it too. Houston, we have a problem. Situation usually go down like, what had happened was, okay. Oh yeah, that way. So the higher realms want you guys to be aware and to have that, clarity of the wisdom to know the difference between a problem and a situation. There's a lot of people down here was going like this, and you see what this is shaped like. What is this shaped like? This is all day misplaced anger. Okay? Misplaced anger in a big way. So the bottom line, the higher realm say, yeah, let them know that they know, okay? Let them know that the enemy is, just like the word says, it is enemy. I'm going to repeat this because some people may have went right back, okay? The enemy is just like it's pronounced. It is enemy. No one has ever harmed me more than I have harmed me. No one has ever hurt me more than I have hurt me. Why you say that is? And no one can ever hurt me more than I can hurt me. Why do you say that? Oh, you saying why do I say that? Okay. Well, simply because everywhere I go, I seem to take me with me. It's just that simple in its entirety. So the higher realms want you guys to be aware, okay? All day, every day, and on your beautiful day, that you guys can just take a moment out of your day and just sit back and ask yourself this question and simply say, self, am I the solution today? And you may be surprised what you hear, because I'm hearing a lot of you guys are going to hear that voice say, you know what? You doing A-okay. Yeah, that's what I'm hearing. A lot of you guys are going to be the solution today. Not the problem. Okay. Yeah. So great job, you guys, in every way. And before I get to it, and before I lose time, because time, I have a lot to do with time. However, the acronym for time is simply TIME, things I must earn, things I must experience in this lifetime. That's why we allow time. That's why you have Father Time. All right? Yes. That's why you have here, give time some time. Give yourself some time, okay? Now, this is your time to shine, right? Yeah, so a lot of you guys need to know, because you were born in this month of 3, your birthright number, well, the higher realm speaks through numbers, signs, and synchronicities, and a lot of other things, okay? Don't get it twisted, because the higher realms think. I mean, you speak through everything, right? This is why I choose to, a lot of times when I put my poetry, it offended, some people, because some people, like I said, they're triggered by that G word energy. And I have to just say what it is, it's the God consciousness, or universal consciousness, what people say. But I'm not going to change that other word, to the entirety, because of the significance of it. And I'll tell you guys why later, much, much later. However, a lot of you guys need to know that the higher realm speaks through numbers, signs, and synchronicities. Okay, that's your birth date, expiration date, and all the little DNA codes in your body. You hear me? Yes, indeed. That's why you have that birthright number of 3, 5. All right? Beautiful numbers. All right? That number 3 says you guys are hooked up to that energy of the Trinity. All right? I can't make it up. Some of you guys even have, some of you guys really have the moles shaped like this. When you look at it, you have a moles shaped in this section, just like this. You have 3 moles shaped in a triangle. A lot of you guys have it on your face. Some of you guys have it on your cheek. Dang, some of you guys maybe have it on the lower chin or something like that. Some of you guys have a birthmark on this elbow here, the left elbow. That's what my left is. Yeah, so, and then others of you guys don't like your birthmark under your feet. You try to be discreet. I don't know, because to other people it looked like something else. Whatever. It's your birthmark. Some of you guys got a birthmark under your feet that look like fungus, but it's not fungus. It's your daggone birthmark. So you try to be discreet about your feet. Some weird stuff like that is what I'm hearing. So the bottom line is you guys are heavily connected to that Trinity energy, mind, body, and spirit energy. A lot of you guys maybe heard people say Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Some people say Mother, Father, Son. It doesn't matter, because you are that one that's heavily connected to that mind, body, and spiritual energy, which is that number 3 energy. Okay? And that means that you guys were born with a level of a strong level. A lot of you guys are ascended masters, okay? But I want to let you guys know that you have that master manifester ability, because you were born in that month of number 3. All right? A lot of you guys don't realize when you even say things. So be mindful of what you think it, because much to your surprise, it can instantaneously materialize just like that. You hear me? So be, mindful of what you think it, okay? Don't be like them other people who run around every day talking about what came first, the chicken or the egg. It was a thought. It was a thought. So a lot of you guys really, please pay attention to what you think it, okay? Because some of you guys sit around and you may talk about this, that, and the other. I'm just going to use an individual at this time. Or a car. Let's use a car. Some of you guys may be talking about this old-fashioned car. Like, man, you remember those dusters? Yeah, you remember those dusters? Everybody had a duster. Yeah, you remember that? Yeah. And this, that, and the other. And you remember I had the Mickey Thompson tires. You remember I had, something crazy later. Later on I got the Mickey Thompson tires, the bucket seats, and woo-woo. And then all of a sudden, you see somebody then pimped out a duster with some Mickey Thompson tires and some bucket seats and put that V6 engine in there. You like, hold up. You see what I see? And you guys think it's, then somebody else say, man, or somebody might say the speak of the devil, how people say. But the bottom line is, that's you guys. That's how fast your manifestations materialize. Okay? So be mindful of what you think it every day, all day. You know what I mean? And don't forget you can check in and say, hey, I'm out the solution. Yeah. Because a lot of people think meditation is just that, the back, bang. A lot of times meditation is just being quiet. Am I the solution? Am I the solution? Am I in the solution? Am I living in the solution? Basically, Yeah. So it's like your spiritual compass, basically. And that's why a lot of people get confused and they don't want to meditate, because they think it's a thing where you just, you empty out. A lot of times it's just simply that you are assured and you have no doubt. That's when you're reassuring yourself, you're asking a question, because people for a long time didn't know what prayer was. You know what I mean? Prayer is simply asking, for something, and meditation is listening for the answer. That's why you must be quiet, so he who has the ear, let him or her hear what your higher self is even saying to you guys. What the spirit is saying to you guys, okay? Because your higher self is really close to the spirit in every single way, okay? So you guys have that number 3, and that's what that means. A lot of you guys have manifested yourself to be at 3 places at one time. A lot of you guys have manifested yourself to be at the right place at the right time with the right stuff. And for a lot of people in this world, that is super tough and rough, okay, to do in any type of way. All right. A lot of times you guys go to places, like I said, people be like just opening up, say, come on in, we just opening up. Oh yeah, you're right on time, come on in. You ask somebody else their story, they be like, man, when I went there, that thing was closed and shut down. They ain't look like they never was open, you know what I mean? And then the other lady told me come back in 2 weeks. You gotta compare stories. Start doing a journal, you guys, because you need to realize, who you are. That's what this message is about. Realize, who you are. A lot of you guys also, because you have that birthright of number 5. Speaking of 5, it's 25 there. Oh my goodness. Yeah. So you guys, even though you're number 5, that means that you guys bring positive change from every dimensional level unto this level, okay? And that means you shall receive it, so shall you bring it. So a lot of you guys will get some shmoney, okay, in this dimensional level. So you will get some birthday shmoney. There's no doubt about that. Some of you guys you will win a lottery if you play today, the 3-digit in every way. Some of you guys, just no matter what you play, you will hit that 3-digit today. I'm getting that, and some of you guys, it's been a long time coming. You put a lot of money in or something like that. For those of you who play, I'm talking to you guys. Some of you guys will cash out big when you cash out, some game that you play. Some of you guys will make a big cash out that you like, the biggest cash out that you ever cashed out with today playing your game. Somehow you're more attentive, you're more in tune or something like that, but you're gonna make a big cash out, and it's gonna be over $1,000. Some of you guys gonna play a game and you're gonna cash out with over $1,000 in your cash out is what I'm getting today. Those of you who play, relentlessly play is what I'm hearing. Yeah. Today is your day. So, that's a lot of genuine, energy on your side. So a lot of you guys, because of that number 5 birthright, a lot of you guys grew up with a lot of, bottles of change around you. People, everybody, you they come in your house, you got bottles of change. Some of you guys got, a drawer with a sock of change in there and stuff like that. You had change all around you because of your birthright. Positive change from every dimensional level. And in this level, that change can also mean money change. That's why I say you guys are getting money for your birthday today, okay? In every way. Make no mistake about it. So a lot of you guys need to know that you came here to change the game. A lot of you guys might be like me, came about to change the game. And that's a beautiful thing. A lot of you guys, you come to a place that's been doing the same old thing for eons and years, and all of a sudden, you change it up. You know what I mean? You change it up. You change the whole thing up. That is your purpose, to bring positive change from every dimensional level. It's not by circumstance, accident, or coincidence that you arrived in that right place at the right time with the right stuff, which is very rough. That's when you're spiritually aligned to. When you're in the right place at the right time with the right stuff, that's the only time you know that you're aligned. Because you can be at the right place at the right time with the wrong stuff. You know what that can lead to. You can be at the right place at the wrong time with the right stuff, and you see what that lead to. You can be at the wrong place at the right time with the right stuff. Guess what? You see all that, what it leads to. So it goes on that way. But the bottom line is, once you have all 3, you know that you are aligned in this entirety. So a lot of you guys, I'm definitely suggesting a higher realm say, make your gratitude list and also start a journal. Okay? Some of you guys are, this is your suggestion that way. Make your gratitude list and start your journal. Okay? Because some of you guys are on a quest to, some of you guys trying to skip past something, trying to avoid an actual next step. All right? And that hurts. That's why a lot of times when I see certain things, even when people skip countries that are in a previous year, but they didn't get the lessons of the years before, that's why they come here and they try, to do certain things, because they didn't get the lesson. They don't even know what the lesson occurred because they skipped the whole couple of year timeline. So you can't skip from this, to that. because you're not getting the lesson. The lesson is the blessing. So once you get here, you're trying to do everything shortcut because you don't have a clue what to do. And it's unfortunate that it's the same way if you travel out of town. If you travel somewhere to a different location, you see something, you're like, hold up, how you do this machine here? I never seen this machine before. How did they get there? What it mean? And then you gotta learn this whole machine. Why? Because you were supposed to learn the lesson. Because if you would have been part of that progress, you would have been able to, be in that level of, I'm not gonna say perfection, but you would be in that level of knowing. Okay. So at any rate, that part. So I'm seeing a lot of that. A lot of you guys are trying to skip something here. You're trying to skip a level of growth, okay, that's needed and necessary. Some of you guys are trying to skip a lesson at this time. Okay, let me see what it is. I made cards. Let's work with me here. Bear with me, guys. What lesson is going on here? What lesson is going on? What lesson is much necessary for number 5, birthday number 5, March 5? What lesson is necessary for number 5? Okay, I see that. It's a star chakra lesson and a third eye lesson. Wow. So you guys, it's a star chakra lesson and a third eye lesson. There's 2 lessons that you guys try to skip, and I better not go past it because these kind of stood up. So I better. Okay. Yeah. So it says God would never block you when your heart is true. So you guys don't skip the do. Okay. It says God will never block you when your heart is true. Your keen sense of loyalty is looking just like royalty. Okay, so stay loyal and true to oneself, you guys. Yeah, because how to become full grown is like notifying and goal sealing each stepping stone. Okay, so a stepping stone here. This spiritual ebb and flow keeps me out of a whole lot of trouble on the low. Yeah, this spiritual ebb and flow keeps me out of a whole lot of trouble on the low. In this segment of my life experiment, I solely implement my spiritual goals as my estrogen, okay? Estrogen. Now, yeah. So as your spiritual, your goals as your spiritual estrogen. So yeah, that's what I see, you guys. And some of you guys, it's suggested a read. It's a suggestion read out here. And this is for those who are open-minded to read Proverbs 2, verse 2-6. Proverbs 2, verse 2 and 6. And for others of you that really want to really get into that view, Proverbs 11, verse 26 is what I'm seeing. So I wrote this, and this is all about you guys tapping into, your star chakra being activated. Because some of you guys learned a hard lesson. That's the only way you could reach this star chakra level. And you better know that God would never block you if your heart chakra is really true. Your sense of loyalty is just looking like royalty at this time, because you guys are the stepping stones. You acknowledge one step at a time. So you guys don't skip, don't flip, because the spiritual ebb and flow is what is helping you a whole lot on the low. in this segment of your life experiment, you solely implement your spiritual goals as your estrogen. Okay? That's what it's saying for you guys to know this in every way. And the other one, yeah, this is hot pocket. I feel like hot pocket, and I feel like spiritual cleansing tears. Went down here, for years. Some of you guys are not a crybaby, but you've been crying. Okay, bad love investments. Okay, wait a minute. Yeah, I was like, it's just saying loan. Bad love investments. Oh, I told you I felt that cry. It says woe, W-O-E. Now you know. So a lot of you guys know that you know right now. It says spiritual court and physical court. Well, in the gym, I was working out. So a lot of you guys working out in the gym, okay, is where you actually met him or her, okay? A total sore for the eyes to see opened my mind and my body, then my heart emotionally. We are so ready. Okay. You were ready for this. Oh, okay. My whole heart was racing. I did not know whom I would be facing. A serial killer, a rapist, a mole of a complete fool. Now, this is a serial killer, a rapist, a mole, or a complete fool. Now, of that, I was sold on a silver platter. That makes me, I was sold, okay, on a silver platter. So it says a serial killer, a rapist, a mole, a complete fool. Now if that makes me, I was sold on a silver platter. So a lot of you guys were sold when you first seen this person, but this person was in heavy spiritual court. They were in physical court. They may have been telling you guys they got charged on and they held it back from you guys. And there's a big woe sign here. Now you know. So a lot of you guys know that you know now. They said most of you guys ride solo. Yeah. And this person came out of nowhere. So most of you guys ride solo. They have another suggested read of Proverbs 11 verse 3 and 7 and Proverbs 3 verses verse 26. Okay. Daggone it. I can't make no noise, you guys. I can't believe these stalkers are still out here. They be everywhere with the YouTubes, people. They be everywhere, and I don't want to say too much, but they be everywhere, just blowing their horn, and they still around. And you see that? I don't know if you guys seen the news where they were like doing all this. When you guys look at the news and see if you see all this hacking that was going on one particular day, it was like constant hacking every 2 minutes. They were trying to constantly hack into the system. So a lot of you guys need to know that your star chakra is fully activated from this bad love investment. But what you need to know is God will never block you if your heart is true. So you guys don't have to worry about this, and chalk it up as experiencing what you guys had to go through. Because like I said, some of you guys are trying to skip a step here. Okay, first one. Well, confirm both. Yeah, that would be nice. Just confirm both. Okay, so here it is. What did I tell you guys? Didn't I tell you guys you will win a lottery? I ain't playing. So some of you guys, like I said, I felt it. I don't know if you felt it, but okay. All right, so some of you guys, you're gonna win that lottery. That's if you play. Some of you guys gonna really, and no. So a lot of you guys are gonna take the settlement. you gonna settle out. You gonna take. Ooh, sorry, you guys, bear with me. Wait a minute. A lot of you guys are gonna take the financial settlement. Interesting. And it hurts because the next one came out about this bad love investment in the womb. It said that you guys felt like no one cared. This person showed no love for all your accomplishments and everything that you did. Yeah, because I don't know, it's like some of you guys are already, living a life where you don't drink, you don't smoke, you don't invest in things that harm your body, you keep your temple clean. And that's why, this person was like, you already, how the people, actually think that you think you're better than. Okay? Because you keep your temple clean. That's like keeping your poo-poo clean to me. Like, are you serious right now? Are you serious right now? That's like keeping your private areas clean. Keeping your temple clean to me. But hey, anywho, I see you guys doing what you do, and you guys felt like no one actually cared. That's why the higher realms hit that lottery. You guys, higher realms said, listen. Okay, so it's important for you guys not to lie to yourself today in any type of way. Like I said, some of you guys have been trying to skip something. I heard that skip to the loop. So what I want to let the higher realm said, tell you guys a story of the boy in school. So I'm gonna let you guys know that the little boy was in school, right? And so the little boy, because obviously it's important for you guys to have humor. However, the little boy was in school, and the teacher asked the little boy, who signed the Declaration of Independence, right? And so the little boy cussed the teacher out. And the teacher said, wait a minute, I'm not having that. I'm not having that in 1 second. I'm going to tell you one thing. You're going to get out of my classroom doing that type of carrying on. And you're not going to come back in my classroom until we have a sit down with your father, the principal, and myself, young man. In you, okay? But the bottom line is get out. Right? So the teacher put the boy out the classroom. And the next day the boy came back. They were all in the principal's office, the teacher, the principal, the little boy, and his father. And the teacher said, now, who signed the Declaration of Independence? And the little boy started cussing again. I don't know who signed my... So the father said, excuse me for a moment. You excuse me while I talk to my son in the hallway, please. And he pulled, he said, come on, son. And he said, hey, get the son in the hallway. He said, look, son, our family, I know we have a bad family. We may even have a bad reputation as a family. You know, we have a bad family, son, I know. We may rob, we may steal, we may even kill. But it's one thing this family don't do. We don't lie. Now, if you signed that Declaration of Independence, you go tell them you signed it. So that part, okay? So the higher realms want you to laugh today and to have humor in that way. However, acknowledge that you don't ever have to lie to yourself in any way, okay? Every step is a step closer to who you are. And it's your divine way, okay? So that part, yeah. So this is when we must part ways, you guys. If life lasts and death pass, you will see or hear me again. Until then, Paulette, peace be unto you and within. Congratulations on that shmoney.
How do you move on from somebody?
You can't move on from somebody until you detach from them, and you can't detach from them without realizing that you were attached to them. So I think the question to ask is, why am I attached to this person? What do I feel like? What hole in me do I think that they are filling? So I needed to be with her or be with him because they validated me. They made me feel loved. That tells you that you don't love yourself enough. Because if you love yourself enough, you wouldn't depend on them to love you. Do you see how this works? So understand that every person that you're with is merely reflecting you. So if you struggle with something in a relationship with somebody, that's because you actually struggle with that part of you. And they're reflecting it back to you. But the ego wants you to focus on them. No. It was just you. That's why I try to tell you, nothing exists outside of you. Everything was you. And when you know that, now everyone that you interact with, they're teaching you a little bit more about yourself.
How do you move on from somebody?